everyone, and welcome to this new tutorial on my channel. And in this video I'll be showing you how to make this cute little foxy bookmark, and I just think he looks super cute. The head will be sticking out of the top of the book, while the tail will be sticking out of the bottom of the book. I would say it's a little complex to make, but we will go through it step by step, and if you get any questions during the video you can comment them down below. And if you like the video, don't forget to give the thumbs up, this would help me a lot, and let's get started. You'll need orange and white for the little fox, as well as a bit of brown for the little nose. Also, the yarn I'm using is a combination of 60% cotton with 40% acrylic. You'll need a crochet hook, I'm using a 3mm hook, scissors, a darning needle, some thinner black yarn for the mouth, I'm using embroidery yarn, safety eyes, these are 5mm, some glue, and some stuffing. Okay, so we're going to start by making the face, and for that we're going to start at the bottom. So first, grab your white yarn and we're going to make a magic circle. If you're not entirely sure how to do this, I've got a separate video on my channel explaining how I'm always doing it, and I will link it down below in the description. Now for the first round, we're going to put 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So for that, go into the magic circle, grab the yarn, pull it through. Now you got 2 loops on your hook, grab the yarn once again and pull it through these 2 loops on your hook. That's your first single crochet. You can see the little V right there. Now we're going to do that 5 more times till we get a total of 6. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we can close the magic circle. Just like that. And that was it for the first round. Now before starting the second round, I would like to note that I'm not using a stitch marker, and I'm not doing that because it's such a small project, so I feel like it will just be in the way and I prefer to count. However, if you will be using a stitch marker, you can put it in the last stitch that we did right here. Okay, so now for the second round, we're going to do a total of 6 increases. So we're going to do an increase in each of the 6 stitches we got around. And because of that, we're going up from a stitch count of 6 to a stitch count of 12. All right, so let's find our first stitch. Go in there. And we're just going to do 1 single crochet. Now, because we're going to do an increase, we're going to go back into that same space and do another single crochet in there. Like that. Now we're going to go to the next one and do another increase. So do 1 single crochet, go back and do another single crochet in there. Okay, we're going to do this 4 more times and I will see you at the end of round 2. Alright, so I just finished round 2, and now for round 3 we're going to do something a little more complex, because we're first going to do 2 single crochet, then we're going to do 2 increases, then we're going to do 4 single crochet, after that 2 increases, and we finish by doing 2 single crochet. And because of that we're going up from a stitch count of 12 to a stitch count of 16. However, because it's a little more complex, let's just do it together. So do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, so that's 1 and 2, just 2 regular single crochet. Now into the next one we're going to do our first increase. So go in there, do a single crochet, go back into the same space and do another single crochet. After that we're going to do another increase. So go into the next stitch, do a single crochet, and do another single crochet in the same space. Now we did 2 increases. After this we're going to do 4 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So just 1 in each. 1, 2, 3 and 4. After that, we're again going to do 2 increases. So 1 in here and 1 in here. So that's 1, 2, that's our first increase. Let's do our second increase, just like that. After that, we're going to do 2 regular single crochet. And that was it for the third round, and now you should be having 16 single crochet around. Okay, so now for round 4, we're going to do something similar to the previous round. Because right now, we're just going to do 3 single crochet. Then we're going to do 2 increases. Then 6 single crochet, 2 increases, and we're going to finish by doing 3 single crochet. And because of that, we're going to go up from a stitch count of 16 to a stitch count of 20. Also, at the end of this round, we'll be switching to the orange color. All right, so let's just do that. First do 3 regular single crochet, 2 and 3. Now we're going to do an increase. Go back into the same space, do another single crochet. Now we're going to do our second increase, like that. Now we're going to do 6 regular single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to do 2 increases. 1, and 2. Now we're going to do 3 regular single crochets. This is 1, 2. And on the third one is where we're going to do the color switching part. So grab your orange yarn, like that. And now we're going to start making the single crochet as usual. So just go into the next stitch, grab the white yarn and pull it through. Now you got 2 loops on your hook. However, now instead of grabbing our white yarn and pulling it through, we're going to grab the orange yarn, like that. Put that on your crochet hook and pull it through the 2 loops on your hook, like that. Now we can tighten the stitch by pulling the longer white yarn end, and we're going to pull the orange yarn end to make this loop smaller. Okay, now to finish off the color switching part, we're going to do 1 slip stitch into the next stitch. And this marks the end of this round. So if you're going to insert a stitch marker, insert it right here. So we basically used 1 more stitch, but that's okay. All right, so that was it for round 4. Now for round 5, we will be doing that in orange. For this round, we're going to create the little bumps you're seeing. So we're going to create the cheeks as well as the nose. And this is a little different from what we did previously. So let's just do this round together. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 regular single crochet. So do 1 single crochet in the first and 1 in the second. Now for the next one, we're going in to the 3rd stitch. So insert your hook there. Then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches. So here is the stitch where we got our crochet needle, crochet hook through. This one we're going to skip. This one we're going to skip, the next 2. Then into the 3rd one from the crochet hook, we're gonna go like that, from back to front. Like this. So as you can see, we got our crochet hook in the first stitch, then we skip 2 and we come out of the third one. I realize that the yarn is white and it's a little difficult to see on camera, but I hope you can see it. So we insert in the first, then we skip 2 and into the third we have our crochet hook again. By doing this, we're going to grab the orange yarn end and pull it through like that. And we're just going to finish it as usual. So yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. All right. And then you get this little pointy here because these are just 2 single crochet that you skipped actually. All right. So after this, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next one. So just a regular single crochet. Now we're going to do the same thing as we just did. So we're going in to the next stitch right here. Then we're going to skip the next 2 and come out of the third from back to front like that. Okay, so we got our crochet hook in here, skip 2, come out of this one. Then yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through. Just like that. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next one. And we're going to do the same thing for 1 last time. So we're going to go into the next one, skip 2, skip this one, and come out of that one right there. From back to front, like that. Grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn and pull it through. Then we're going to finish off by doing 4 regular single crochet. So find your next stitch. This one right here. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're going to put the last one on the slip stitch that we did, where we did the color switching part. So this is 4, and that was it for round 5. Now for round 6, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each of the 11 stitches that we got around. So the stitch count won't change, and just make 11 single crochet. All right, so I will see you at the end of round 6. All right, so I just finished round 6, and right now is the part where we're going to do the stuffing. However, let's first put away all of these short yarn ends. So we can cut off this white yarn end, cut it short, and we can tie that one together with the orange yarn end. So let's put away our crochet hook and make a double knot into them. So just cross over and pull it through, make a knot, cross over again, make another knot. Then let's put in these 3 short yarn ends. Let's put it into our work like that, because the only yarn end we're going to need is the long orange yarn end, which is still attached to our skein of yarn. Now we're going to grab some stuffing and we're going to just make it as firm as we would like. Remember, after the next round we'll still be able to put in some stuffing, but it will be more difficult because the hole will be smaller. So just try to get in some stuffing, but don't worry if it's not enough yet. All right, so once you've done most of your stuffing, we can start doing the last round, which is round 7. And for round 7, we're going to do 5 decreases. And because of that, we're going to go down from a stitch count of 11 to a stitch count of 6. However, we'll be leaving 1 stitch behind, because after we did 5 decreases, we still got 1 stitch left, but that's okay. We just want to reach a total of 6 stitches around. So we're going to do 5 decreases. For making a decrease, we're going to make an invisible decrease. In order to do that, we're only going to grab the front loops of the stitches. So instead of going into the entire stitch like this, we're going to go back a little bit and only grab the first loop like that. Now we keep that on our hook, and we're also only going to grab the first loop of the next stitch. So only grab the first loop. You can use your nail to make it easier. Alright, so once you got 2 front loops on your crochet hook, we're going to yarn over, pull it through these 2 loops, and we're going to finish it by yarning over and pulling through these 2 loops. So that was our first decrease, and we're going to do that 4 more times. Alright, so once you've done 5 decreases, you should be having 6 single crochet rounds. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So right now we're gonna do a slip stitch into the next stitch. Go in there, grab the yarn and pull it through all at once. Then we can cut off the yarn, leave a little end to it. And right now is the moment where you can do your last stuffing. So I'm going to put a little more in there. So I'm going to grab some stuffing. I put that in there with my scissors. Alright, so once you're happy with the way it feels, we can start closing our work. And you can either copy me or do your own thing. What I always do is here we did our last slip stitch right there. This is the next stitch and this is the stitch after that. We're gonna go in here and come out of this stitch. Just like that. Then we're going to grab the yarn and pull it through. Now we're going to do that 1 more time. So here is where the yarn end is coming out of. This is the next stitch. This is the one after that. I'm gonna go in here, come out of this one, and grab the yarn end. Okay, now we're going to make the knot. So go into the same space as the yarn end is coming out of. Okay, come out of the next space. Like that. Then pull through the yarn, but not entirely. Leave a loop like this. Now we're going to not pull this end of the loop, which makes this short end shorter, but we're going to pull the other end first to make this really tight. So just push it so that it closes very tightly, just like that. After that, we're going to pull this short end through the loop, and this creates a knot like that. Then insert your crochet hook somewhere randomly, come out of a space close to the yarn end, for example right here. Okay, and pull through the yarn. Then we can cut it off. Like that. And now the base of our face is finished. Alright, so now the base of our face is finished. However, I would agree if you would say that it still looks a little odd, and that is because all of the details are missing. So let's first start by inserting the eyes. And we're going to insert the eyes right in between the white part and the orange part. And this is in between round 4 and 5. So let's count from the bottom. This is round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's right in between there. And we're going to insert the eyes right in between the 2 bumps. So one right here and one right here. So let's say we put our first eye right here. Okay, already pushed in there. like that. And let's do that on the other side as well. So in between round 4 and 5, in between the 2 bumps, that's right here. And let's just push it in there. All right. Once you are sure that you like the positioning of the eyes, so it's in between round 4 and 5, and it's in between the bumps, like this, in the middle, we can take them out again and take our glue so that we can glue them into our work. So I do that by just putting some glue in the stitch directly. So right in here, like that. And I'm just going to push the eye in there. Right. Now really make sure that it's all the way inserted, like that. Alright, so once you've done that for both sides, it should look something like this. And now we can start making the ears. And for the ears, we're just going to crochet them onto our work. And we're going to crochet them onto row 7. So when you count from the bottom, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and right here is 7. And we're going to crochet 1 ear onto this side of row 7 and 1 right here. But let's first do this one right here. So first make a slip knot. Leave quite some into it. Make a slip knot. And attach that to your crochet hook. Like that. Okay. Now we're once again going to count which row is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this row right here is 7. Okay, we're going to pick 1 stitch from row 7, which is kind of in the middle. So let's say this one right here. And we're gonna go underneath round 7. That's where we're gonna go in. And we're gonna come out at the top of row 7. So we just pick up 1 stitch like this. And we're going to check whether it's kind of in the middle, and I do that by checking whether it's lining up with the eyes. And I think it's lining up with the eyes pretty well. So here's where we're going to make the ear. And for making the ear, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a slip stitch. So grab the yarn, pull it through this stitch right here, which we picked. All right, and also pull it through the loop on your crochet hook, like that. So then it should look like this. Now we're going to do a half double crochet into the same space as we did the slip stitch into. So yarn over, go into the same space where you went in, so that's right here, right underneath our slip stitch, there. We're gonna go in and we're gonna come out of the same space where we came out previously as well. Okay. Pull through the yarn. Now you got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do two chains. Then into the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a slip stitch. And we do this to make the ears a little more pointy. Okay. So now we're going to finish by doing 1 half double crochet into the same space once again. So go in right here and come out right there. And you can see that by all the strings coming out. So here are strings coming out and here as well. So go in here, come out of there. And do a half double crochet, just like that. Okay, then we can cut off the yarn. And now we can bring these 2 strings to the back of our work. So turn your work around, choose a random stitch on the back of your work. Okay, go in there. Now come out of the same space where we always came out to make these stitches. So that's right here. Okay, grab this yarn end, which belongs to that side, and pull it through. Now we're going to go into the same space on the back and go to the other side of the ear. Okay, come out of this stitch, which we used, grab the yarn and pull it through there. Okay, as you can see, that makes the ear look nicer. Then we can secure it by doing a double knot into the 2 strings, like that. Then we can cut off the yarn, and we're going to hide the yarn ends by pushing it into our work, just like that. And that was our first little ear. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so let's make another slip stitch. And for the second ear, I prefer to work from top to bottom. So from right to left, because then the nice side of your crochet work is facing forward. But you can also do it the other way around. You can also make your ear like this, but then it will just look a little bit differently, but that's okay. All right, so let's do it. You've got your slip stitch on your crochet hook, and we're going to count which round is round 7. So go to the bottom of your work. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7 right here. So we're going to pick a stitch which is kind of in the middle and lining up with the eyes. So I think I want to insert it right here and then maybe come out of there. Yeah, I do think that works. So let's just try it. Always remember that if you try something and you don't like the way it looks, you can always redo it. That's no problem at all. All right, so let's do a slip stitch. Pull through and pull through the loop on your hook. Like that. Let's do a half double crochet, chain 2, do a slip stitch in the second chain, do another half double crochet, and then we can already cut off our yarn. Now we're going to bring these strings to the back of our work. So insert your crochet hook somewhere randomly, come out of the space where we came in at the top. So that's, I'm sorry, you weren't able to see that, but that's right there. Grab this string on this side and pull it through. Okay, go back into the same space on the back of our work. Okay, then we're going to move to the space where we came out. So it's right here. And pull the other string to the back of our work as well. Okay, now you can just check whether you like the way it looks. If you don't, you can just take it out. It's no problem. I like the way it looks, so I'm just going to make a double knot into these 2 strings. Like that. And then we can cut it off and hide the yarn ends by pushing it into our work with our scissors. Alright, so now let's make the nose and the mouth to make the face complete. So first let's make the nose. And for the nose I'm going to use brown yarn. You can also use black, but I prefer it when it is brown. And to make the yarn a little thinner, because this yarn is just as thick as the other yarn I used right here, to make it thinner I like to split it up. So it consists out of these 4 strands, and then I like to just pull it so that I will be using 2 strands. Because of that, it looks a bit more detailed, in my opinion, and I prefer that. You don't have to do this, but this is just preference. So I'm kind of unwinding it now, so just turning it like this till I got something long enough. And then I'm gonna grab my darning needle and attach it to the brown thread, like that. Okay. Now we're going to put the nose right on top of this little bump right here. So this is one cheek, this is the other cheek, and this is the nose. And we're just going to grab this little part right here at the top of the nose, right there. But first we're gonna go in somewhere at the bottom. For example, right here, doesn't matter where. And we're gonna come out of the space where we want to make the nose. All right. Then we're gonna move to the other side of the nose and we're gonna go back into this space right here. And because of that, so go in right there on the other side of the nose and come out of the same space right here. And because of that, we're gonna make a little stripe. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to make a total of 4 stripes, but if your yarn is thicker, you can do less stripes, or you can just try what works for you. So now I'm going to make the second stripe. So go in right here, come out of this space. This is 2. Okay, to push it a bit up. Now I'm going to make 3. Okay, feel that gap here. And I'm going to make the 4th stripe. All right. And now the nose is finished, and I'm going to insert my needle here, in here right again, come out of this space. Okay. Like that. Then we can cut off the other yarn end. And we can make a knot into the strings. Make sure you're not pulling it too tightly, but just a little bit so that it is secure. Okay, going to shape it a little more. And make a double knot into it. Like that. Then we can cut off the yarn. Okay, put that to the side. And then we can hide the yarn ends by pushing it into our work once again. Just like that. And now the nose is finished as well. Okay, so the only thing missing still right now is the little mouth. So let's add that as well. So for that, grab your thinner black yarn. Of course, if you don't have thinner black yarn, you can do the same thing as we did for the nose, for the brown yarn. Just unravel it so that you get like a thinner strand. You can do that as well. Okay, so for the mouth, we're going to put that right underneath the nose. So we're going to put that right here. This is in between round 3 and 4, and we're going to pick one stitch. So go in here a little to one side and come out one stitch to the right, like this. Okay, here's where we're going to put the top corners of our mouth. So just go through there. Okay. Now we're gonna go back into this space right here, but we're not going to pull it entirely. And also we're gonna come out one stitch below that, a stitch underneath. So for example, right here, we're gonna come out of there and we're gonna pull it, but not entirely. So leave a loop like this. Now we're going to insert our needle into this loop. Okay, pull it through like that. And by doing that, we're going to create a little mouth, as you can see. Now we're going to go back into the same space right here. And we're going to come out of this space again, where the other yarn end's coming out of as well. Okay, now we're going to tighten this. And we can make the mouth a little rounder by using our hands like this. Okay, pulling the 2 strands just to like the way it looks. All right, so once you're happy with that, we can cut these 2 yarn ends short. Put that to the side. We can put a double knot into them. Don't make it too tightly, just so that it's secure. So a little bit's already enough. This is 1 knot, like that. This is the second one. Okay, then cut it even shorter. And we're going to push these yarn ends into our work with our scissors. Just like that. Now we're going to make the tail, and for that we're going to start in orange. So grab your orange yarn. And we're going to start by making a magic circle once again. And now for the first round, we're going to do 8 single crochet into the magic circle. So go into the circle, grab a loop, and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Let's do that 7 more times till we get a total of 8. And 8. Then we can close the magic circle. Like that. And that was it for the first round. Now for the second round, we're first going to do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches. Then we're going to do an increase, and we're going to do that 1 more time. So we're going to do that twice. And because of that, we're going to go up from a stitch count of 8 to a stitch count of 10. So let's first do 3 single crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to do an increase. And once again, we're going to do 3 single crochet. 2, 3. And we're going to do an increase. Okay, so that was it for the second round, and now you should be having 10 single crochet around. Now for round 3, we're going to do 4 single crochet, increase, 4 single crochet, increase. And because of that, we're going to go up from a stitch count of 10 to a stitch count of 12. So let's do that. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and do an increase. Now let's do it once more. So 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth, and do an increase. All right, so that was it for round 3, and now you should be having 12 stitches around. Now for round 4, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches that we got around. So we're not going to change the stitch count, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches. So I will see you at the end of round 4. Alright, so I just finished round 4, and now for round 5, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and we're going to do a decrease for stitch 2 and 3. And we're going to do this all the way around, and because of that, we're going to go down from a stitch count of 12 to a stitch count of 8. So let's do that. 1 in the first, and do a decrease by pulling the front loops only. So this is a front loop, this is the next front loop. Now we did a decrease. Okay, do this all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of round 5. Alright, so I'm going to do the last decrease of round 5, and that is where we're going to do the color switching part to white. So we're going to start off as usual, grab the front loops. Okay, pull through the orange yarn end. Now you got 2 loops on your hook. This is the moment where we're going to grab the white yarn end, put that onto our crochet hook, and pull it through the 2 loops on our hook. Then we're going to put the short yarn end underneath our finger, right here, so that we can pull the orange yarn end to tighten the stitch, and the long white yarn end to tighten the loop, like that. Then we're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch to finish the color switching part. This makes it look a bit nicer. Alright, so now we're going to do round 6, and we will be doing that in white. And we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and after that we're going to do a decrease. And we're going to do that twice, and because of that we're going to go down from a stitch count of 8 to a stitch count of 6. So let's do that. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and do a decrease by grabbing the first 2 front loops. Okay, do it once more. So 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and do a decrease. Like that. Okay, this is the moment where we can cut off this longer yarn end as well, the orange one at least. Okay, and we're going to tie that one together with the white yarn end, because those belong to the color switching part, and I don't think you necessarily have to tie them together, but I just always like to do that to make it a little more secure. So make a double knot into them, just like that, and then we're going to put them into our work. So grab your scissors and push off these yarn ends in there. Okay, now is the moment where we can do our stuffing as well, because after this we're going to do some more decreases and then it's impossible to stuff. So right now is where we're going to do all of our stuffing. So grab some fiberfill and just push it in there with your scissors. Okay, once you're happy with the way it feels, we can start doing the last round, which is round 7. And right here, we're once again going to do 1 single crochet into the first, and then we're going to do a decrease, and we're going to do that twice. And because of that, we're going to go down from a stitch count of 6 to a stitch count of 4. So 1 in the first, do a decrease, single crochet, and a decrease. It's a little difficult because we will only end up with 4 stitches around, so it's really tight. Okay, and do a decrease. Then we're going to do a slip stitch to finish it off. So into the next stitch, do a slip stitch. I'm kind of struggling to come out at the top because it is so tight, but I'll try. Right there. Okay. Do a slip stitch. Like that. Now leave quite some into it. And we're going to pull through like that. Now it is already pretty much closed up because we finished with only 4 stitches around, which is very, very little. So let's attach it to our darning needle and just close up a little more by going in close to the yarn end and coming out 1 stitch next to it so that you can pull it a little bit. Now something I'd like to do with the tail is to make a little curve into it like this. You don't have to do that, but I just think that looks pretty nice. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. So first make sure that your yarn end is coming out at the top of the tail. So I think that's right there. Okay, push it through. Like that. And then we're going to choose one side in which we want to make the curve. So I think like that. So then on this side of the tail, we're going to make like a weaving pattern, kind of. So we're going to go in a little next to the string. We're going to come out underneath there. Somewhere, doesn't matter where. Wait, I'm gonna... that. Then we're going to go in a little underneath there, and we're going to come out right in between the orange and the white part. Okay, then you can pull it a little bit, and because of that it's going to keep a little curve because you're making this end shorter than this end basically. Okay, now we're going to secure it by grabbing 1 white strand, for example this one. Okay, make a loop, don't close it, insert your needle through there, and because of that you're going to make a knot like that. Then go into your work, close to the knot, and come out on the other side. Okay, pull it through, and then you can cut off the yarn. And by doing that, our tail is finished as well. Now the only thing left to do is to make a chain to connect the face to the tail. And in order to do that, you're gonna want to make the chain just as long as your book. So here the face will be, then you will have your chain, and then here the tail will be the tail. So for me, this is around 50 48 something chains. But you will have to see for yourself how long your chain should be. So we're going to start by making a slip knot. Make sure this yarn end is pretty long because we're gonna need that for sewing it onto our work, like that. Then we're just going to start making chains and make sure it is just as long as your book. Okay, so for me, the chain is just as long as my book right now, and I made 46 chains. So I'm just going to cut off the yarn, leave quite some into it, and pull it through. And now our chain is finished. Now we're going to attach one side of the chain to the face. So let's insert our darning needle like that. And to attach it to the face, we're going to attach it to the bottom. And what I always like to do is to grab one little string on one side of the magic circle. So here's our magic circle. And on this side, close to the mouth, I'm going to grab one random string. Just like that. Okay, then I'm going to pull through my needle till the thicker part reaches my work, the thicker part of the chain. Okay, then I'm going to pick up one small chain on the other side of the magic circle. So for example, this one right here. Like that. Then on our chain, we're going to pull our needle through the last chain that we made. So just from one side to the other side on the chain, we're going to insert our needle right there. This can be a little difficult. It doesn't need to be precise, just make sure that you are at the top of the string, that you go from one side to the other side like that. Okay, then pull through the darning needle, but don't pull it through entirely. Make sure you leave this little loop right here. Now go through the loop, like so, and pull it. Pull this very tightly. You really want it to be secure. If you're not entirely sure whether it's secure enough, you can always put glue here as well. Okay, now let's go into our work close to this yarn end. So for example, right there. Okay, come out on the other side. Just push it through there. Like that. And then we can cut off this yarn end. Okay, so now one side of the bookmark is attached. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So attach it to your darning needle. Grab the tail, like that. Grab one side of the magic circle. Pull it through there. The other side of the magic circle, one string right there. Go through the chain closest to your work right here. From one side to the other side. Okay, create a loop, go through the loop and pull it very tightly so that you create a knot. Like that. Then go into your work close to the yarn end and push it through so that it comes out of the other side and cut off the yarn end. All right, so now the little bookmark is finished and let's put it into our book. So let's make sure the head is at the top of the book, the tail right at the bottom. Like that. And then it looks like this, and I just think it looks super cute. I hope you like your result as well, and if you liked the video, don't forget to give the thumbs up. This would help me a lot. Also, if you would like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe, and I hope I will see you in another video. So thank you for watching and see you.